One of my students asked me the difference between agree with and agree to. Like, I agree with or to your opinion.
I took a couple of screenshots of the dictionary here, okay? So if you look at some of the different forms in the dictionary, they're going to give you all of the prepositions that go with that verb, followed by the kind of object, agree with somebody, agree about something, agree, then you have a combination, agree with somebody about something. And look through all four of the different definitions of agree, okay? And then the dictionary patterns summarized in this little table. So we've got agree with these four different prepositions. Well, with is the same preposition.
Coming up twice, yeah.
And then the kind of object you've got. Sometimes it can be a somebody. Sometimes it can be a something. So I agree with John. I agree with John's idea. I agree on the issue of environmental cleanup. And I agree to the terms of this contract. So there we have a two. Yeah. And don't get mixed up with the preposition or the particle from the infinitive. You can agree to do something.
Yeah.
You can agree to go with somebody.
For example.
Just for your information, one more pattern here. Agree, like many verbs, has a that pattern. So I agree that, start another clause. Okay, yeah. So you can use it in different ways.
That's right. I actually looked it up on Google, and the first website I checked said the phrase agree with is used for referring to agreeing with a person, and the phrase agree to is used for referring to agreeing with a non-person, meaning, I guess, a thing. Well, this kind of bad teaching, I'm sorry, but this is bad teaching. It's wrong. This is wrong information. And that's where that splash comes in. The only problem is that it's wrong. Okay, but so I won't name and shame the actual website that came up with that howler, because, of course, we can agree with an opinion, we can agree with an idea, and agreeing to is more like, as you say, what you agree to do something, but you agree with someone, you share their view, you share their opinion. And I did find, after that bad website, I found quite a good one that I'll give them a little bit of publicity. Yeah, it's called something called Espresso English. Neither of us are connected. Neither of us are connected to Espresso English, so we're not advertising anything here except simply recommending that this lays it out pretty clearly. We agree with a person if we have the same opinion. So I agree with you.
Yes.
All right. Yeah. But we can also agree with a statement, a decision, all these so-called non-person things. We can agree with them. I agree with most of the points in this book. I share the opinion. Okay. Mm-hmm. So if we have a plan to do something, typically a plan, we agree on this. It's quite similar to I agree with you. We agree about it. We agree on it. We share our idea, but we expect to put it into some kind of practice. We're going to do something, or like, for example, the ethics of eating meat. We don't agree about it. You could say I agree with the idea that people should not eat meat. For example, if you're a vegetarian, I agree with not eating meat. I agree with, but the ethics of eating meat. Okay, we disagree about that topic. One of us thinks it's good and one of us thinks it's bad, something like that. And it goes on to give, agree to and agree that and so on. All the things that you just raised, Veronica. So I would say finding a decent website and sticking with it. And you've used Espresso English before, I think, Veronica.
Many times. Yep, I like that website.